So there's no shortage of reading material these days on the rapidly evolving world and role of the CIO. Within your experience, and when you look at everything that's going on out there, what do you see that's going to change most prominently in the role of the CIO now versus, like, say, when they get up in the morning 3 or 4 years from now?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting what we're seeing going on now with headlines in print publications and in social media around the role of IT. And I think it's moved from the death of IT and the irrelevance of the CIO to a greater understanding of the complexities of what IT actually looks like in organizations and the kind of step changes that CIOs are going to be confronted with in the next few years. I think that the role of the CIO is changing. I think the role used to be CIO as the curator of the glass house, as the person who looked after the routine maintenance and operation of systems that didn't change all that much, or maybe changed on quarterly release cycles. And we're now seeing a very significantly different type of IT environment where managing change, in fact, becomes the most critical skill set of today's CIO. Managing the complexity, managing the transformational change, managing the new business needs that are coming at us fast and furiously. So I think CIO as change manager and as colleague and partner with the business executives as that change partner is the role that's going to be much more important going forward.
Now, I've been following the role of the CIO and the IT managers for literally 30 years. That's what I've done professionally. And as you point out, they've managed things that haven't changed that much, and they've been somewhat conservative in nature. So with that kind of a lead-in, what do you think is going to be the toughest part of this transition for a typical CIO?
Well, I think that, you know, the CIO of the future, in fact, the CIO of today, is a conservative risk taker. And the CIO of the past was much more concerned with protecting their assets, protecting, you know, the glass around the house. But I think a lot of those issues have been solved. And I think today's CIO, I've been in technology for over 25 years, and if I can't figure out what the right thing to do to take my business forward more rapidly than my competitor can, then I don't belong in this job. So CIO as an innovator, as a conservative risk taker, as someone who can bring to the table opportunities to move the business to new places they never thought they could be through the innovative use of technology. I think the other thing is CIO as fast mover, okay? The delivery of a project in 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, I mean, that's a thing of the past. We need things in 30, 60, 90, 120 days, and we need them on continuous cycles to help us really leverage the business. So that's how I see the role evolving moving forward.
Huge changes, essentially, in a role that's been, you know, I'd say reasonably static over several decades.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're kind of entering that generational demographic change where, you know, we're seeing the current generation start to retire. A new generation is moving in that have grown up in a different world. And we've grown up with cell phones, and we've grown up with banking machines, and we've grown up with, in fact, many people don't even know what a glass house is, okay? So it's a very different kind of CIO that's moving into the driver's seat in the years ahead.
So given all of this and given that we may be seeing a changing demographic, and I'm sure we are, what piece of sage advice would you offer for CIOs today to maybe make that transition more palatable and more successful?
So I would say, you know, for up-and-coming CIOs, start to put lots of arrows in your quiver. Know something about architecture, know something about strategy, know something about process, have run a few projects in your life. Maybe you know about business analysts, maybe you've been a programmer, but all of those things in IT, those skills represent an arrow in your quiver. And those are the kinds of things that you're going to have to build because they're going to become really important that people have diversity and can actually look at IT from end to end and understand it with some degree of depth. I would say for current CIOs, you need to maintain your skill set. You need to not think that you've got all the answers. Surround yourself with smart people and listen to them. If you don't want to listen to them or take their advice, they shouldn't be on your staff. And keep your quiver filled with current arrows. Make sure that you're staying up to date on what's going on with appliance technology, in-memory computing, predictive analytics. Make sure that you can come to the table as a full and innovative partner to your business in your area of expertise to help move that business forward.
Excellent. Great advice. Well, Heather Campbell, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Bill.